Calaroga Shark Media.
Hello, I'm Johnny Mac with your daily comedy news. Big presidential debate tonight. Stephen Colbert said to figure out who gets which podium and which one goes first or last, they flipped a coin. Trump won the coin toss, thank God, otherwise we'd have to listen to months of coin denial. Jimmy Fallon said ABC will air the Trump-Harris debate, while Fox News will just re-air the one with Biden. We'll be covering that on the Ballot podcast, wherever you get your shows. Speaking of late-night shows, NBC snuck this one in, I think, late Friday afternoon. And they're like, oh, yeah, by the way, Jimmy Fallon's only going to be on 4 nights a week. Well, only do 4 new nights. The show will be on 5 nights a week. Starting this week, Jimmy Fallon will have new shows Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Fridays will be a rerun. At first, I was like, oh, my God, they're cutting back late night. And then I remembered growing up, Johnny Carson, Monday night was a guest host, often Jay Leno, Gary Shandling. Tuesday was a Carson rerun, and then 3 new shows a week. Letterman was only on 4 days a week. Kimmel only does 4 new ones. Colbert only does 4 new ones. So calm down, Johnny Mac. Now, NBC is spinning this. A factor in the move is Fallon's continuing commitments outside The Tonight Show, which includes Tonightmares, a new haunted maze experience. No. You just realized there's no reason to put on a new show Friday night. Nobody's watching, and you're budget cutting. Stop. Late Night reminds us when Letterman moved to CBS, he expanded to 5 original episodes to match The Tonight Show. That would have been the Jay Leno Tonight Show. Later in his run, Letterman began taping his Friday shows on Mondays, doing 2 shows on that night. I feel you, Dave. I know somebody who's about to record a podcast for this weekend. I understand. But original shows did air every weeknight. The Tonight Show's gone through periods of adjustment. When Steve Allen originated the show, it was a 90-minute national broadcast 5 days a week. Plus, he did an additional 15 minutes for New York's NBC affiliate. In 1980, Carson got it down to 60 minutes, 4 nights a week, excluding Mondays. NBC made a new show featuring a guest host later, 3 nights a week. Jay Leno brought it back to 5. Conan hosted The Tonight Show for 5 minutes. He kept it at 5. Fallon has done 5 shows a week, except during the summer since he took over in 2014. Jimmy Kimmel was at the Creative Arts Emmys and told reporters, as a group, we have a little text chain of all the late-night talk show hosts. All of us sent our congratulations to Jimmy Fallon for getting Friday off. All right, big news. John Mulaney will star in a Broadway comedy about love and marriage. This got the New York Times treatment. It is called All In, Comedy About Love, a new play by Simon Rich. It includes a celebrity cast taking on the roles of pirates, dogs, and other zany characters. Mulaney said his new Broadway play is a weird fantasy camp of things I always wanted to do with my very good friends. All In, Comedy About Love is staged as vignettes about relationships, marriage, and heartbreak. The production will run for 10 weeks. Performances begin December 11th. An official opening night has not yet been announced. By the way, if you're hoping John Mulaney is going to do a late-night talk show anytime soon, guess not. Mulaney, Richard Kind, and Fred Armisen are set to be in the show through January 12th. Mulaney said, there's something so exciting about doing something this funny around the holidays. Altogether, it's an enormously gratifying thing. Hey, remember Colin Jost and Pete Davidson bought a Staten Island ferry? Well, page 6 says that it might be part of New York Fashion Week, which is almost over. As I record this, I don't think anything's happened with this thing yet. But page 6 saw the Staten Island ferry being pulled out by tugboats. The rumor is it will host a big-time fashion show. We'll see. Jay Pharoah caught up with the Winnipeg Free Press, talked about doing impressions. He said he started when he was 6 years old, trying to impress a playground crush by imitating Gilbert Gottfried. That's how you pick up the chicks. You do a Gilbert impression. That has never failed for me. The chicks love that. He says, that's how it actually happened. If there's ever a biopic done, that scene will be prominent. I'll be on top of the jungle gym, and we'll be sitting there talking to each other, and then it cuts to 20 years later, and I'm on stage. I would have never thought that kid would have ended up on SNL. Being on SNL, you're forced to become quick because you have to audition for your job every week, and then you have to have a different show every week. So you always have to make sure that you have your finger on the pulse, and you always have to stay sharp, or you'll just fade. What does he want to do next? He wants to break into the DC universe. He says, I love the grittiness of the DCU. It's my dream job to be Jon Stewart. No, not that Jon Stewart. The Jon Stewart that is the Green Lantern in DC Comics. Jay says, I know it's going to happen, but even if it didn't, and my life will be lived at a short period of time, I would still be happy about all the accomplishments so far and the legacy for another little kid who feels like it's impossible to get out of his surroundings to accomplish things. The Texas Standard talked to Sheng Wang, one of my favorites. And they were like, you were at UC Berkeley getting a business degree. What happened? Sheng said, that's correct. I was a young kid in college. I was definitely not exposed to stand-up. The part of the entertainment culture was not something I knew much about as a kid. We didn't have cable TV or anything like that. We didn't watch much. But basically, I was in college. I was scared to commit to any kind of creative pursuits because it just didn't seem like something was possible for a young Asian kid. And I ended up getting a business degree, but just for fun, I dabbled in some extracurriculars that involved some poetry or some photography and comedy, and I loved doing all those, and comedy somehow became the easier one to follow through on. Who are your idols? He says one of the biggest was Mitch Hedberg. All right. And he was about everyday stuff, but I'm also a big fan of many other comics like Dave Chappelle and Bill Hicks, Patton Oswalt, and Maria Bamford. It was just kind of like trying to figure things out at open mics. I mean, everybody starts to do comedy at open mics, but you keep doing it and you find your style in the areas that you feel most comfortable in. It's all just kind of taking a look around you, around yourself, around your environment, noticing things and trying to capture magic in the everyday and the mundane. So I guess it's just something I was naturally drawn to, just trying to create, trying to find a joke. And the easiest thing for me to do was just look around my life and look at my own personal experience. If you enjoy what I do here, one thing you can do is you can go to buymeacoffee.com/daily comedy news. You can throw some money in the tip jar. And then I get up in the morning and I go to the National Donuts chain. I get one of these large iced coffees with caramel and milk. So National Donuts chain, I hope you're paying attention here because I'm here to promote you. Kristen Wiig is pitching herself as the official Dunkin spokesperson for the Dunkalette. I will read your press release, sure. This fall, Dunkin unveils its latest coffee creation, the Dunkalette. The Dunkin way to latte that's sweet, creamy, and truly unique. It's so irresistible that even Kristen Wiig wants in on the action. That's right, in a new ad campaign, beloved comedian and actress Kristen Wiig brings her signature wit, pitching herself as the official spokesperson for the Dunkalette. Wiig goes all out to prove why she should be the face of the Dunkalette, portraying a series of colorful characters from a drink engineer to janitor to chief beverage officer. The press release tells us each funnier than the last. Her competition? Coffee Milk Cow. I want to know more about Coffee Milk Cow. Jill McVigor is the chief marketing officer at Dunkin, probably the smartest marketing officer in the country. I mean, Jill's got her pulse on everything. She knows which podcast to spend money on. Jill's no fool. And Jill said, when we first created the Dunkalette, we knew we had something special on our hands, but including coffee milk, an unfamiliar concept to most, was a challenge. Finally, we thought a drink this delicious deserved to be named after ourselves. From that moment, we made it our mission to make everything about the Dunkalette as Dunkin as possible, fun, approachable, and totally crave-worthy. There's merch. You can go to shopdunkin.com to get exclusive items while supplies last. All right, what could we get? A Dunkalette beanie, just $24. A Dunkalette hooded sweatshirt, $48. Matching sweatpants, also $48. All of those in the creamy light brown hue of the perfect Dunkalette. Plus, if you would like your own coffee milk cow at home, and who doesn't, you can get a coffee milk cow plush toy for $22. And again, buymeacoffee.com/daily comedy news. You know what I'm saying? Jill, let's do this. On Gossip Corner, the Des Moines Register tells us Luenell ate dinner at Bubba's, a southern restaurant in downtown Des Moines, last Thursday night. She live streamed her meal. Not sure the etiquette of that. I'm just going to go don't do that. But she did. And on the live stream of her meal, she said, "This place is fabulous. Does it get popping later?" She told her server Parker that she had just flown into Des Moines from Las Vegas. "We didn't even go to the hotel yet." What did she order? Well, gumbo, frog legs, crab cakes, chicken poblano soup, and deviled eggs for appetizers. That's a lot of appetizers there, Luenell. How many people were in this party? They also got some Cadillac margaritas and said, "You can keep them coming until I tell you to stop because I have nothing to do today." The table also ordered chicken fried steak, fried chicken, and mac and cheese. She told her fans on the live stream, and again, don't live stream, the Bible said gluttony is a sin, but he didn't have that mac and cheese. For dessert, the restaurant sent out a hummingbird cake. I don't know what that is. Somebody let me know. Pecan pie and bourbon bananas Foster. Also on Gossip Corner, Atlanta Black Star giving Tiffany Haddish the business. Apparently, fans are rolling their eyes at Tiffany Haddish after she put herself in a cringe-worthy catwalk moment during a New York Fashion Week where you might see Colin Jost and Pete Davidson's Ferry. Who knows? On Saturday, Tiffany Haddish was spotted front row. She was hanging out with Paris and Nikki Hilton. Fancy schmancy, huh? Well, the models cleared the runway. Kathy Hilton encouraged Tiffany Haddish to take an impromptu runway stroll. The Hilton family and other front row guests laughed as Tiffany Haddish took Kathy's direction and crashed the runway. One social media user said, "If she wants to be a clown, let her." Comedy.co.uk has the best reviewed comedy performers at Fringe this year. The stats come from 4,200 plus star-rated reviews. Matt Ford, The End of an Era Tour, and Nina Conti, Whose Face Is It Anyway, scored multiple 5-star reviews. They got the joint highest average ratings of the Fringe, 4.8 out of 5. On Netflix today, a Hear Shah's special called Ends. That was the winner of the Edinburgh Comedy Award for Best Show in 2023. Well, now it's on Netflix. The special shows off Shah's motor mouth tendencies and brilliant storytelling skills. Whether he's talking about accidentally being the monarch of all pimps or goodness gracious me's impact on his career trajectory, Shah is captivating. Also out today, Kylie Brakeman. This special is called Linda Hollywood's Big Night. You'll find it on Amazon, Apple, Google, wherever you get your streaming stuff. The description: ever wanted to see Princess Carolyn from BoJack Horseman do stand-up? That's the energy that character comedian Kyle Brakeman brings to the stage as Linda Hollywood, the tough-talking big-time talent agent who's unafraid to scream into a cell phone. Meanwhile, Ken Jennings is trying to get better at hosting Jeopardy. He's being slammed for being awkward and unfunny. An insider told Closer how to be genuinely funny is one of the things that hinders him. People on the show know it. Ken knows it deep down. He's an awkward character and can't make people laugh, unlike his contemporaries Steve Harvey and Drew Carey, and it bothers him. His delivery and timing have got to be improved if he's going to win over audiences. He's only got 4 days of shooting a month, so he has the downtime. He wants to hone his craft and be funny. He needs to focus on his comedic skills now, get some lessons, and if people come on over to give him help. Now, what's going to make things worse is Colin Jost is hosting Pop Culture Jeopardy. The president of game shows at Sony pointed out Colin's smart and quick, like our contestants, and we know he'll be able to keep up with them while making this new series his own. We couldn't be happier that he's joining us for the new journey. You know, Colin, we all love Ken Jennings, but 4 days a month work? When this SNL thing runs out, Jeopardy's not a bad gig. You could do it for 25 years. Just saying. And that is your comedy news for today. If you enjoy the program, tell a friend about it. They might like it too. See you tomorrow.